Well, this is the Sweet Signals from Space update, and I'm mildly concerned because never mind. I didn't see my loading bar for a moment and I was like, what, did my game crash or what? These things happen sometimes. As usual, the art is amazing and Nova Cookie is just so cool. I love that. He's like a shining hero. Anyway, Xylitol. Yep. Xylitol. Wait, he's legendary? I didn't know. I know he was shiny and all cool looking, but I didn't know he was, well, legendary. That's a bit weird. I feel like there are always like legendaries coming out every other day now. It feels a bit, I don't know, man. It kind of diminishes their value a bit. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I know they're just doing it for money and whatever, but still, not cool, man. Like, Salto really doesn't seem like a legendary material for me. He seems more like, or maybe that's just because I'm not used to having like so many legendaries come out in such frequency, but whatever. Anyways, this is this updates what do you call it again? Yes, rewards and missions. Of course, we have the usual daily gifts, rock, paper, and scissors. Round 2. Let's see if we win off this one. DJ, I say scissors and you say rock. Alright. I trust you, okay? I will say rock. Okay, well, that happened, I guess. Anyways, I should have picked Huh? You're the one who asked me to pick rock. Anyways, we have Grand Champions, of course, because GCL is over, so we've always got this event. Cookie Mastery Mission, Treasure Mastery Mission for Star Candy Globe, as well as a Meat Treasure Mission for the same treasure, Star Candy Globe. It seems like it has been buffed, so you might want to get onto that. Now we have Xylitol Nova Cookie, of course, legendary, as is shown from his little rainbow cookie cutter, and Dr. Xyli-TOOK. Like, it really doesn't feel like a legendary, I feel like there should be more hype or something. Like, the dragons definitely felt like legendaries, but nowadays the legendaries just come out and it's just like, it's a cash grab by DevSys, and that's basically it. But, would it hurt to put a little bit more effort into, like, your cookies, But sure. Anyways, we've got the usual technical license, guild runs, trophy race, teamfight boost, the new update of Save Planet Xylitol, of course with Xylitol Cookie just showing off its prowess at fighting on the main splash art there, and our cookie trial, of course, for Xylitol Nova Cookie. Now let's take a look at our dear little cookie here. Look at its story. On a day the sweetest star candy exploded in space, the world became bitter with irreplaceable loss. Amidst the chaos, Nova Cookie emerged as a beacon of hope, inheriting the power of the stars. Among them, the first to unravel the truth was the owner of Xylitol Planet. Well versed in all worldly knowledge, with dazzling technological prowess, he built civilizations on dormant stars, creating a celestial fortress protected by an antimicrobial system, shielding the entire planet from danger. Despite prioritizing cohesion and efficiency, the leader always prioritized the star's constituents. The peaceful everyday life of modified robots and cyborgs living harmoniously made it seem like this would go on forever. However, he slowly uncovered encroaching darkness, sensing the imminent threat. Controlling the Xylitol cubes, he initiated the last project to protect the stars, will the planet be able to escape its impending doom. So apparently this guy has been alive for God knows how many years, and by God I mean Sugar Swan, because whatever. Like, how do you call it? Xylitol strikes me as a cookie that's halfway, it's on the cusp of, okay, maybe let's talk about this later. Anyways, magic candy ingredient, Xylitol Cube Drone. Small and clever, not only can it store data, it's also capable of copying and transmitting. Who knows, maybe it can even pull off some kind of cool transformation combo. Well, that's definitely a type of, I would say, description. Now let's take a look. At the very least, the pen is epic, so we don't have to actually worry too much about whatever is going on here, I do suppose. in terms of like all of my diamonds that will be gone and missing. Anyway, story me, the first Q robot managing the Xylitol planet central system. According to the data input by Xylitol Nova Cookie, this robot cleverly identifies potential threats to the planet like a pair of precision pincers. It may seem docile with eyes closed in a seemingly calm manner, but Dr. Xyli-TOOK is keeping a watchful eye on everything. If you happen to catch its attention on the pet's radar, brace yourself and good luck. But maybe there's an interesting conversation to be had here about like privacy and law, and just how much you can really do to pry into people's lives in the name of protection and whatever. But what do I know, man? I am just a dude on the internet. One thing I do have to say, that last scene, cool. I love it. My god. Like, despite the fact that I know that this is the real reason why the legendary is coming out like this, all just for money and whatever, and they don't really care that much. You still gotta pay for the artists, like really just give them the admiration they deserve. Because that is beautiful, Like, legendary cookies just never fail to kind of like dazzle, in their design. Really, like, I love this. This is so like cyberpunk type, just futuristic. I'm flying around with wings, that kind of thing. It is interesting how Xylitol Nova Cookie is the owner of the planet. Does it mean like he was originally there? Is he an explorer? Like, was he just naturally born on Xylitol Nova planet? I mean, from what the description seems to suggest, he doesn't seem to be aging, but I can't tell if that's because he's a like Sugar Sworn or Abyss, where he's basically a supernatural being, or if it's because he's a bona fide like cyborg, and with like constant just maintenance and internal regulation, he's able to just keep himself like, well, normal, I guess, just healthy, I guess, by whatever mechanical term there is in this world. I mean, surely he has to tell a lot of technological process, but it's hard to tell, I mean, depending on which answer it is, it could hold some interesting, like, I would say, answers or questions as to, like, the world building of Cookie Run, but I may just be like, thinking a bit too much. I mean, I think it should be pretty clear from his magic candies ingredient. Am I missing something? Why is there just no black holes? Usually these type of rings have black holes, but whatever. But I feel like it can be told from like the magic candies description that I think they've really started running out of ideas at this point, but still quite cool. The pet is interesting. Description and lore wise, like I said before, it poses some interesting questions. And is this like an authoritarian state? Because it said owner of Xylitol Nova planet, and then I mean he basically seems to be some sort of hero figure, but it's hard to tell, how much of that is actually like so-called authentic. I mean, there's, well, whatever. Maybe I'm just really thinking too much about the lore, but still, like having cameras and a radar watching your every move, it's a bit interesting. And do cyborgs have rights? I mean, if they have consciousness, they do. And considering the fact that in Xylitol Nova Cookie's description, they were basically like described as such, as having like consciousness and sapience/sentience, depending on who you ask. Yeah, it should be. That's interesting. I mean, how far can you go in the name of safety, really? But whatever, let's not think about it. I really like this guy's design. He seems so nice, like really like a nice little like elder type in some sense, I can't tell if his wings are there superficially or like it's something very ominous to say while smiling at me gracefully, mister. My god, just saying our worst enemy is coming soon, haha. No elaboration. But as for his super epic costume. I've got no much to say. I prefer his original, just like Abyss. I'm gonna be honest here. I prefer Xylitol Nova Cookie. I think Xylitol Nova Cookie, like, I'm just gonna go on a bit of a tangent here, but like, Xylitol Nova Cookie just strikes me to be in that same ranking of Abyss and Sugar Swan, where they're kind of like middle tier legendaries. Not in the sense that they're not meta, but in the sense that like they don't feel like a typical, like, how do you call it, hyped up legendary. You know, they don't feel like Sea Fairy or Lotus or Millennial or even Timekeeper, you know. Sugar Swan, Abyss Monarch, and Xylitol just feel like they kind of fill up this empty little space in the rankings between like epic and legendary. Not because they are lacking in any sense in terms of description or lore, but I think it would actually come from the fact that there wasn't actually much hype. Like, you can tell that these guys were kind of, the main motivation with them was basically like a lot of it was based on, well, profit and money. These legendaries popped out of nowhere. There was no hinting to them in any other sort of lore. Even if they turned up, it was kind of like out of the blue and didn't really have anything to do with like what was really going on in current updates or events. So they just feel like they fill up this little space where they're kind of legendary, but also in a sense like they're not exactly legendary as the sort of like fundamental. Well, it's hard to describe, and I've been talking a little bit too long, so yeah, that's it for today. I love Xylitol Nova Cookie. His design is so cool. Thank you to the music people again and the artists. It's amazing. I love it. Not a big fan of the magic candy and all, but whatever. Devsis will be Devsis. Yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching this, and take care. Love ya.